Even when years have passed and life has moved on in countless ways, there are people from your past who carry a memory of you in their hearts. These are not necessarily people you were deeply involved with, but those whose paths intersected with yours in meaningful ways. It could be a childhood friend with whom you shared formative experiences, a former romantic partner who left an emotional imprint, or even someone whose presence in your life was brief but unforgettable. Time and distance may have separated you physically, but certain connections are never entirely erased. They remain quietly, invisibly, like footprints in sand, waiting to be recalled at unexpected moments. The nature of these connections is subtle. Often neither you nor the other person may actively think about each other on a daily basis, yet the memory lingers beneath the surface. It may manifest as a fleeting thought, a sudden feeling of nostalgia, or an inexplicable sense that someone from your past is still there, watching over a part of your life. Sometimes it's triggered by something as ordinary as a song, a scent, a place, or even a random moment that reminds them of you. These triggers evoke memories that carry emotions, not just facts. How you laughed together, a comforting presence you offered, or even the unresolved tension that once existed between you. Memory is rarely logical, and the heart does not forget in a linear way. What was once deeply felt has a way of resurfacing when the subconscious deems it necessary. Interestingly, these connections are often silent and invisible. Many people do not reach out or attempt to reconnect, yet the thought of you persists. This is because the human mind and heart are wired to hold on to experiences that shaped us in meaningful ways. Even when life pulls people in different directions, the emotional and psychological imprints of past relationships do not simply vanish. They exist quietly, waiting for moments when circumstances, emotions, or reflection bring them back into awareness. Sometimes it's a dream that reminds them of you. Other times it's a sudden memory that intrudes while they are alone or in a reflective state. It is in these moments that the presence of the past becomes vividly apparent, showing that certain bonds transcend time and space. Makes this phenomenon even more profound is that it doesn't always require intention. People may not even realize that they are thinking about you. It happens naturally, without planning, as a soft, persistent undercurrent in their consciousness. The connection is maintained not by effort, but by the emotional significance of your shared experiences. They may not even understand why certain memories return, only that they do, often leaving them with a sense of wonder, longing, or reflection. This is the beauty and complexity of human relationships. The people who touch us deeply leave an echo that time cannot erase. In essence, these subtle connections are a testament to the enduring power of human relationships. They demonstrate that our interactions, however brief or distant, have lasting effects. Even when life has moved forward and circumstances have changed, certain people remain in the emotional landscape of others. They are a quiet reminder that we impact each other in ways that are often invisible, yet profoundly real. Recognizing this can be both comforting and humbling. It teaches us that meaningful connections are not always measured by frequency of contact or proximity. They are measured by the depth of presence and the emotional imprints we leave behind. People remember you not just for what you did together, but for the way you made them feel. Emotions have a lasting imprint, far more enduring than events themselves. It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic moments. Often, it's the small, seemingly insignificant interactions that leave the deepest marks. A kind word when someone felt unseen, a smile that brightened a difficult day, or a conversation in which they felt truly understood. These moments embed themselves in memory and resurface unexpectedly. The human mind holds on to these experiences because they are tied to emotional resonance, not just factual recall. Certain interactions with you may have sparked growth, awareness, or self-reflection in their lives. You may have challenged them to think differently, encouraged them to see things in a new light, or simply been a steady presence when life felt chaotic. These influences, even subtle ones, can leave a lasting impression. They often create a sense of gratitude, admiration, or even unresolved curiosity that persists long after the initial encounter. Your impact is measured not by the time spent together, but by the depth of the connection and the emotional significance it carried. It's important to understand that the way they remember you is unique to their own perception and experience. You may think of yourself as ordinary, or even forget moments that felt monumental to someone else. What stands out to them could be a small act of kindness, a reassuring word, or the way you looked at them with understanding. Our brains are wired to retain what moves us emotionally, not necessarily what is logically important. This is why some people from your past remain vivid in memory. They were associated with feelings that were intense, meaningful, or transformative. Even if the memory carries complexity, confusion, conflict, or unresolved tension, it can still linger. Human emotions are rarely linear, and the mind often revisits unfinished stories or unexplored possibilities. They might replay conversations, question what could have been different, or simply remember the energy of your presence. In many cases, people do not even consciously realize that they are thinking of you. It can appear as an unconscious pull, a soft recurring thought that surfaces without intention. The reason they continue to think about you also lies in the unique role you played in their life. You may have represented a form of clarity, inspiration, or emotional honesty they rarely encounter elsewhere. Perhaps you held a mirror to them, revealing qualities they were unaware of or pushing them to grow in ways that were uncomfortable yet necessary. Your presence may have been a turning point, a catalyst, or simply a comforting force during a turbulent time. These impressions become deeply rooted, and even when life moves forward, the memory of you remains a reference point, a subtle touchstone for reflection, growth, or nostalgia. In essence, being remembered is a testament to the lasting influence of human connection. It highlights the profound truth that our actions, words, and presence have consequences that extend beyond the immediate moment. People remember you because you mattered to them in ways that transcended time, distance, and circumstance. Whether they think of you fondly, curiously, or even with unresolved feelings, the fact remains you left a mark on their life, and that mark endures quietly, persistently, and often without conscious effort. There are subtle signs that someone from your past still holds a space for you in their mind. These signs are rarely loud or overt. They exist in quiet ways, in gestures, thoughts, and moments that reveal the lingering presence of your influence. One common sign is the unexpected appearance of memories. They might recall a conversation you shared, a joke that made them laugh, or a moment where you offered comfort or insight. These memories can surface randomly, triggered by something as simple as a song, a scent, or a place that reminds them of you. The fact that these memories resurface so vividly and unexpectedly indicates that you left a lasting imprint. Another sign is subtle engagement or attention. Even if they are not in direct contact with you, they may follow aspects of your life from a distance, checking social media, noticing milestones, or keeping track of changes and achievements. They may comment occasionally, like a post, or reach out indirectly through mutual friends. These actions are often understated, but they reveal curiosity, care, and continued interest. They show that your presence in their past is not forgotten and that they remain connected to the story of your life, even if only in thought. Dreams can also be a powerful indicator. When someone appears in another person's dreams, it reflects the subconscious mind's ongoing processing of memories and emotions. Dreams often revisit unresolved feelings, unspoken words, or significant moments that left emotional impressions. If you appear in their dreams, It is a sign that your impact has penetrated deep into their memory and psyche, beyond surface level recollection, into the emotional fabric of their inner world. These dream encounters may be fleeting, confusing, or even emotionally charged, but they indicate that you are still present in their mind. Sometimes the signs are even more nuanced, appearing in moments of reflection or sudden thought. They may recall you when alone, when thinking about the past, or when comparing their current experiences to previous ones. Your influence may arise in times of decision-making, emotional introspection, or personal growth. They might remember how you reacted in a certain situation, what you taught them through example, or the unique energy you brought into their life. These recollections are often involuntary, subtle, and continuous, showing that your presence has become woven into their internal narrative. Even the absence of communication can be revealing. When someone refrains from reaching out, yet continues to think about you, it is often because the memory itself is enough to hold their attention. They may feel nostalgic, curious, or conflicted, yet choose to remain in the quiet contemplation of your presence. This is a sign of respect for what you once shared, as well as the weight of emotions that are not easily expressed. Ultimately, these signs show that the connections we form are rarely erased, even with time, distance, or circumstance. People carry impressions, emotions, and memories that persist quietly in their consciousness. The thoughts they have of you, whether fleeting, subconscious, or deliberate, demonstrate that your presence mattered in ways that shaped their experience and left an indelible mark. Recognizing these signs can help you understand the subtle but profound ways in which people continue to hold space for those who once touched their lives. Knowing that someone from your past still thinks of you can evoke a wide range of emotions: curiosity, nostalgia, pride, confusion, or even discomfort. It is important to approach this awareness with clarity, understanding, and balance. First, recognize that their thoughts about you are a reflection of their own journey, not necessarily a call to action or a judgment on your life. People often hold memories for different reasons: admiration, unresolved emotions, longing, or simply reflection. Understanding this helps you avoid overinterpreting or assuming responsibility for their feelings. Their thoughts exist independently of you, and their presence in their mind does not dictate your path. At the same time, this awareness can be an opportunity for reflection. It invites you to consider the impact you have had on others and how your actions, words, and presence continue to resonate. Reflecting on these connections can provide insight into your growth, influence, and the ways in which you touch lives without necessarily being present. This reflection is not about ego or validation. It's about understanding the subtle web of human connection and the enduring nature of emotional resonance. Recognizing that you mattered enough to remain in someone's thoughts highlights the power of meaningful interaction and the importance of living with intention. Another important aspect is maintaining boundaries. Just because someone remembers you does not mean you are obliged to reconnect, revisit the past, or carry emotional weight that is no longer yours to bear. Their thoughts may exist quietly, and your awareness of them does not require action unless you consciously choose it. Protecting your emotional space is crucial, particularly if the past relationship carried complexity, pain, or unresolved tension. By respecting both their continued reflection and your own boundaries, you honor the dynamic without becoming entangled in it unnecessarily. This awareness also offers an opportunity to cultivate compassion and understanding. When someone from your past thinks of you, it can trigger empathy for their experience, the challenges they face, the growth they may have undergone, and the way your connection influenced them. Even if the emotions are not communicated, there is value in silently acknowledging the shared moments that shape both of you. This perspective can reduce resentment, longing, or confusion, allowing you to appreciate the quiet influence you continue to hold in another person's life.